Hey friends, this is just a quick video to welcome you to the Imaginative Prayer community and to this video course. And I wanted to let you know that I'm about midway through raising four daughters. They're 16, 15, 13, and 9. And I have about 12 years of pastoral ministry, and I presently work as a spiritual director and teacher of spiritual direction. And one of my greatest desires is that I would be able to help people like you notice and nurture the work of God in their own lives, and help you notice and nurture the work of God in the lives of those around you. And in this case, my desire is that you and I would be able to grow in our capacity to do that work with our kids. So if you're participating in this alongside of others in your faith community, my hope is that we can shift a little bit of the way we think about the spiritual formation of your children. So I believe that the role of the leaders in a faith community are really there to support the parents who serve as the primary spiritual influence in the life of their children. Out of 168 hours in a given week, the environment of church in a typical week might have 2 or 3 of those hours. And the rest of those hours, those kids are not in church. They're with you. They're at school, or they're asleep, or they're playing, of course. Most of the parents that I speak with feel really ill-equipped to lead their children in any meaningful way spiritually. The idea of family devotions can feel a little bit forced or daunting. And listen, I have tried bits and pieces throughout the years, but let's be honest. Having a day when everyone is in the mood and everyone has the margin in their schedule and is able to engage in something like reading scripture or praying together, like this is a huge task with lots of room for frustration and irritation and missed expectation. And so as we head into this journey together and to build some stories and some memories together, I want you to know that being present to your own spiritual formation can often be hard enough. Like, I know that life is full and that our own spiritual journey can often ebb and flow through periods where we feel the presence of God and the nearness of God. And then there are periods where we simply don't. And we're going to talk more in the months to come about this ebb and flow of the spiritual life. And so in addition to trying to attend to your own spiritual formation, then there are these little people in your life who you are trying to grow up into adulthood. These kids that are yours, or perhaps they're kids who are in your care in a classroom, and they have so many inputs into their lives, so many things vying for their attention, so many deposits being made by so many different people. How do we as parents and caregivers and teachers be present to these little people in a way that makes them want to know God and to be known by God? How do we create environments of learning and loving our children into a place and a posture that when they're adults and they leave home and they begin to sort through the diversity of the world, what do we need to give them so that maybe there isn't some great need to deconstruct everything later in life, like so many end up doing, myself included? Just trying to make sense of what God is really like and what the message of the gospel is really about. I went through a radical deconstruction and then reconstruction of my faith about 15 or so years ago. And part of what I'm trying to do in my work with contemplative communities is to create an environment where kids and adults are sharing the experience of God together, practicing together, failing together, in an effort to reduce all of the pressure and the anxiety that can come as kids and teens try to navigate issues of faith in God and following the way of Jesus. So this video course is my effort to help you feel a little less daunted by the task of being a spiritual companion to your children. And I want to be really clear about something right up front. I truly believe that you can entrust the spiritual formation of your child into the hands of God. There are so many ways that we're tempted to manipulate our kids and pressure our kids into doing something that we want them to do, but maybe they aren't actually ready for, or they don't want to do it. And of course, there are times as parents that we have to be the leader and the guide, and we have to ask our kids to do things that they don't really want to do. But I want to say really clearly to you that while I believe that you have some responsibility to your kids to introduce them to the love of God and to the kindness of God and the scriptures and the words and the life of Jesus, I really do believe that if you live a life that's full of vulnerability, practicing forgiveness with your children, and share openly with your children about your own life with God, that they could see you on a journey with God over the long haul, and they could watch you pray, and they watch you grieve and lament, and they watch you grow in joy and contentment. I believe that if you live your life with God in front of your children, that there will be moments of being shoulder to shoulder with your child, being able to instruct them in the way of Jesus. These moments will happen. So this course and the Imaginative prayer book that I published with InterVarsity Press in 2017, which this course is built around, is designed to help you have a little structure and connection with your child so that there's some shared vocabulary and experience in your own life with God, and increasingly, we hope, in their early life of curiosity in relationship to a God that loves them far more than we ever could. So listen, Jesus says that his yoke, the way of life that he is inviting us into, the burden of the way of that life is meant to be easy and light. And I trust that God is doing most of the heavy lifting. And so I want to welcome you on the journey. If you don't have a copy of the Imaginative prayer book, I'd like to encourage you to pick up a copy to follow along with as a supplement to the work that we'll be doing through this video series together. And you can buy a copy of this book wherever books are sold online. But if you want to buy some books in bulk, please reach out to me and I'll put you in touch with the folks at InterVarsity Press to get you a deal. Okay, I look forward to our time together. Blessings to you.